So, Alexander Topuria, brother of the Matador, Ilia Topuria, reveals Ilia Topuria's plan moving forward. So, Ilia Topuria plans to win the lightweight belt against Charles Oliveira, which I really do believe he will do. Charles is chippy when it comes to boxing, when it comes to trading, and when it comes to fighting in the pocket. And I think that's where Charles will be going to sleep. So, yeah, I think Ilia lands something heavy, clips Charles, and all the Charles fans, including myself, will have to stare at a corner of their room for a solid hour after the fight. Just sad and in shock. But yeah, Alexander Topuria revealed Ilia's plan. And again, it's to win the lightweight belt. But after that, Ilia wants to move to welterweight and challenge Islam. If Islam wins the welterweight belt, Ilia plans to challenge Islam at welterweight to get the welterweight belt and become champ. Here's the thing. I'm not against this, but I'm not against it if there is in the fine print of this plan, Ilia plans to defend the lightweight belt a couple times. If Ilia is hoping to just win the lightweight belt after beating Charles and then dropping that belt to go to welterweight, he's got another thing coming. Ilia needs to stay at lightweight and prove himself there. This can't be a world tour. This can't be I'm stopping at this division. I'm getting that belt. I'm stopping it. Look, although it sounds cool, being at featherweight, getting the featherweight belt, moving to lightweight, grabbing that belt, then moving to this division, getting that belt. Although it seems really cool, in order to move weight classes logistically as a champion, you got to have some defenses. And that's not just me thinking this. I think a lot of MMA fans would say the same. You got to have some defenses. I don't think Ilia can just hop from lightweight to welterweight after just grabbing the belt and becoming the newly minted champion at lightweight. I don't think it works like that. Ilia is going to need to defend the lightweight belt a couple of times at lightweight. And then he can move to welterweight to test his luck against Islam or JDM, depending upon who wins at welterweight in the near future. Okay, so I'm not mad at this plan. Ilia is a big fighter, a big bad guy. He's got Ngannou level power for such a short and light weighted guy. But you still got to play by the rules, And there are moving from featherweight after having one title defense and challenging immediately for the lightweight belt is one thing. Although a lot of people see it as a breach in the rules, I did excuse it because Ilia knocked out Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski back to back. So I saw that as okay. But moving from lightweight to welterweight after getting no defenses at lightweight, I got a problem with that. I do have a problem with that. That is way too fast. That's not a smart move. That's not just, the UFC already pulled a couple stops to get you in the lightweight early. So the least you could do for the UFC and for the MMA fan base is to defend the belt a couple of times after winning that belt, after beating Charles. And there are a couple of guys that Ilia could immediately defend the belt against, like Arman Tsarukyan, like Paddy Pimblett if he gets close enough, maybe even Justin Gaethje if whatever he's mixed into right now gets resolved, There are a couple of guys you can defend the belt against. It's not like just because you beat Charles Oliveira in a interim match that you could just nobody else is up to your level. There are people that you need to test your mettle against, So yeah, as a guy that has stated multiple times that Ilia is the big bad guy, he's got all the big bad power. Nobody can really touch him right now. Ilia still needs to prove himself. He's not the GOAT right now. He's on a really fast track to becoming the MMA GOAT. Let me tell you that. Undefeated, knocked out Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski back to back, about a challenge for a belt in another division, all in quick succession. Ilia is on the fast track to GOATship. He is, but still, it ain't that fast. Okay, he's not becoming the GOAT in like another 2 months. All right, it is a plan. It is a process. You do need to prove yourself in certain areas. So yeah, the plan is cool. I think it generates excitement, especially for a guy that has a whole country behind his back. That's why I call Ilia the Spanish Conor McGregor because he has a literal whole country, the entire country of Spain, behind him. You know, that's a really strong star, and that's a Conor McGregor level star because Conor McGregor had Ireland behind him. You know, so as much as Ilya's on that fast track, there are things he still needs to do. You know, I don't appreciate seeing the lack, for lack of a better term, I don't appreciate seeing the divaness, the diva in Ilya come out all the time, because right now it's seeming like Ilya is thinking he's calling all the shots, and that's not the truth. You know, even the biggest UFC stars are employees. The UFC is a business, okay? There are rules that people have to act within. And Ilya is not above everything. He is a star. Don't get me wrong. He's a star, and he's very close to becoming both the face of the UFC and in the top 10. He is close. I don't want to hear it. He's close. If he does a couple more big things, he's close. He'll be there if he does a couple more big things. But, yeah, there are still things he has to do, like defend his belt at lightweight. So, yeah, you know, for entertainment's sake, I'll go over quickly if I think Ilya could do it. So yeah, if Ilya beats Charles Oliveira, which he will, and get the lightweight belt, and then let's say he successfully defends the lightweight belt a couple of times and wants to move up to welterweight, can he do it? Look, like I said, Ilya has Ngannou level power. We can't really escape the fact that he's 5'7". You know, he's a bit of a munchkin. I'm a short king myself, but Ilya's 5'7". I'm not 5'7" though, but I am on the shorter side. But still, come on, 5'7" guy at welterweight. I don't know. I don't like it. Of course, Ilya's power could translate even further to welterweight. But even if, let's say, Ilya is just as strong and just as powerful at welterweight, there's still the concern of reach advantage. I think JDM could definitely pick Ilya apart from distance. And a heavier Islam, I think, could definitely have potential to ragdoll Ilya on the ground, on the feet, just really mess Ilya up. But, to end this video off, if Ilya was able to become champ, top 4, top 3. I don't want to hear it. Top 4, top 3. I don't want to hear it. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you all in the next. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. I love you. Glove knowledge.